ever since I remember. The Greeks and the Italians and the Mediterraneans were presented by the Northerners as corrupt, and we in the South also accepted that, because there's no doubt that there's endemic corruption in the South of the European Union. But it is low-level, petty bourgeois corruption. It's cheap corruption. Whereas the North practices industrial scale, systematic, beautifully designed, high-tech corruption. I mean, how many examples do you want to give you? Siemens. 20 years ago, the FBI caught Siemens having bribed hundreds, if not thousands, of politicians across Europe to adopt the Siemens electricity and telecommunication equipment. It was only when the Americans caught them that the FBI revealed all the data, including Greek politicians and Italian politicians and so on. You want me to mention Novartis? Exactly the same thing with Novartis. Do you want me to mention Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes-Benz with their Dieselgate? I mean, think about it. This is corruption taken to a level of rocket science. They developed systems within their engines that detected when the engine exhaust is being monitored by some high-tech equipment of, national pollution management agencies use on those engines. So the engine would know when it was being monitored, and suddenly it changed the fuel mixture to be more environmentally friendly. You realize that takes hundreds of skilled engineers designing a system that goes into diesel engines in order to cheat. I mean, we in the Mediterranean, we don't have this technology. We're not that well advanced to be able to do it. Now, what about Deutsche Bank? Deutsche Bank in 2008, 2009, was revealed that they had bet in the derivative markets of the United States a sum of dollars approximately 30 times the national income of Germany. They had become so bankrupt that they threatened to swallow the whole of the Federal Republic. And what happened? Nothing. Merkel paid up. That's astronomical corruption. This is corruption that, Kylie should be given a medal for ethics compared to Deutsche Bank. A medal for ethics. What's 600,000 euros? When you've got billions and billions and billions. What they did here in Greece, the Greek banks have gotten bankrupt, okay? And what they did here was to come and make the German workers lend to the Greek state 50 billion euros, with which the Greek state was forced to buy shares in those bankrupt Greek banks that didn't have a vote. So the Greek people had to vote from the German workers, 50 billion to buy shares that didn't give the Greek people who bought those shares a say in how to run those banks. And then the same banks were forced, given the opportunity, to sell the loans of the little people that the little people could not repay because of all this disaster, austerity, bankruptcy, and so on. So little people could not pay their mortgages. So then those same banks, together with oligarchs from around the world in Delaware and Cayman Islands, created funds that purchased those loans from those banks for 3% of their nominal price, evicting those people from their homes, selling their homes, creating new derivatives with the proceeds of those homes, and selling them to the same banks. Now, again, it takes extremely sophisticated financial engineers and lawyers who get paid huge quantities of money to indulge in what I just described, which is nothing short of the mother of all corruptions with taxpayers' money. Think of the Greek airports again. 14 airports like Santorini and Mykonos. Airports that cannot just not have huge profits, because everybody who's gone to Mykonos knows what I mean, right? They took these airports, they gave them to Fraport, a German company, for zero money on the basis of a loan that the Greek people were forced to give to Fraport. And during the pandemic, we gave them 180 million euros from money we borrowed from the European Central Bank to cover for not the costs of those airports, but for the profits they would have made if there was no COVID-19. And this, did the European Parliament agree with that? No. Were they asked? No. Were they told? No. But even if they were told, they would have already been paid off to turn a blind eye.